Hi, this is Ridea Keeping It Real, and we're reading through the Bible using the Good News Bible. We are in the New Testament in the book of Matthew, and we're up to chapter 5 of Matthew. And we're going to read chapter 5, 6, and 7 on this video. Did a little bit of research prior to that in the Haley's Bible Handbook, where 5, 6, and 7 is the Sermon on the Mount. This is still his Galilean ministry, and he is going to go through the Beatitudes, salt and the light of the world, Yah's Son and the law, and then heavenly teachings. If I have to refer back to this, I will as I'm reading it. But we're going to read it all together, 5, 6, and 7, which is the Sermon on the Mount. So now he's given a sermon. Go to your church like a preacher is given a sermon. But this is the Son of God on a top of a mountain saying this. Now, put yourself there. He's saying this to you. So, Yah's son saw the crowd and went up a hill. He's on top of a hill where he sat down. He sat on the top of the hill. His disciples gathered around him. I don't know if he had all 12 at this point. He had these 4 fishermen at least. And he began to teach them. So he's teaching the crowds and the disciples. And he's saying, what is true happiness? What is true happiness? We all want to know that. What is it? So happy are those who know they are spiritually poor. The kingdom of heaven belongs to them. Happy are those who know they are spiritually poor. The kingdom of heaven belongs to them. Happy are those who mourn. The Most High will comfort them. Happy are those who are humble. They will receive what Yah has promised. Happy are those whose greatest desire is to do what Yah requires. Yah will satisfy them fully. Happy are those who are merciful to others. Yah will be merciful to them. Happy are the pure in heart. They will see Yah. Happy are those who work for peace. Yah will call them his children. Happy are those who are persecuted because they do what Yah requires. The kingdom of heaven belongs to them. Happy are you when people insult you and persecute you and tell all kinds of evil lies against you, because you are my followers. Be happy and glad, for a great reward is kept for you in heaven. This is how the prophets who lived before you were persecuted. Okay. It's not as powerful as the King James Beatitudes. Salt and light. You are like salt for all mankind. But as salt loses its saltiness, there is no way to make it salty again. It has become worthless, so it is thrown out and people trample on it. You are like light for the whole world. A city built on a hill cannot be hid. No one lights a lamp and puts it under a bowl. Instead, he puts it on a lampstand where it gives light for everyone in the house. In the same way, your light must shine before people so that they will see the good things you do and praise your Father in heaven. So what? Not praise you, but praise your Father in heaven. Teaching about the law. Do not think that I have come to do away with the law of Moses and the teachings of the prophets. I have not come to do away with them, but make their teachings come true. Remember that as long as heaven and earth last, not the least point nor the smallest detail of law will be done away with. Not until the end of all things. Critical that he says that. So then, whoever disobeys even the least important of the commandments and teaches others to do the same will be least in the kingdom of heaven. On the other hand, whoever obeys the law and teaches others to do the same will be great in the kingdom of heaven. That's pretty clear. I tell you, the kingdom of heaven, I tell you then that you will be able to enter the kingdom of heaven only if you are more faithful than the teachers of the law and the Pharisees in doing what the Most High requires. I'm going to go interchangeably between the Most High and Yah. I'm used to saying the Most High. I'm just not used to saying Jesus, and I know on Jesus I'm going to say Yah Son. Oh, I don't want to say Jesus. I want to say Yah Son and Yahweh. I think that's the name, but I can't be sure. I just can't be sure. Teaching, but I know Yah is pretty accurate, that Yah is accurate. Some portion of Yah is accurate. Teaching about anger. All right, this is something we need to know. You have heard that people were told in the past, do not commit murder. Anyone who does will be brought to trial. But now I tell you, whoever's angry with his brother will be brought to trial. Whoever calls his brother you good for nothing will be brought before the council. And whoever calls his brother a worthless fool will be in danger of going to the fire of hell. So, if you are about to offer your gift to God at the altar and there you remember that your brother has something against you, leave your gift there in front of the altar. Go at once and make peace with your brother, and then come back and offer your gift to the Most High. If someone brings a lawsuit against you and takes you to court, settle the dispute with him while there is time before you get to court. Once you are there, he will turn you over to the judge, who will hand you over to the police, and you will be put in jail. There you will stay, I tell you, until you pay the last penny of your fine. Okay. Teaching about adultery. You've heard that it was said, do not commit adultery. But now I tell you, anyone who looks at a woman or a man and wants to possess her or him is guilty of committing adultery with her or him in his heart. So if your right eye causes you to sin, take it out and throw it away. It is much better for you to lose a part of your body than to have your whole body thrown into hell. If your right hand causes you to sin, cut it off and throw it away. It is much better for you to lose one of your limbs than to have your whole body go off to hell. Okay, that's kind of harsh and deep and kind of like, what? People took that to heart and did that. That would be something. Teaching about divorce. So basically, don't look at lustfully at someone else, his wife or husband. Teaching about divorce. It was also said, anyone who divorces his wife must give her a written notice of divorce. But now I tell you, if a man divorces his wife for any cause other than her unfaithfulness, then he is guilty of making her commit adultery if she marries again. And that man who marries her commits adultery also. That's kind of clear. I don't think there's a way around that. Teaching about vows. You've also heard that people were told in the past, do not break your promise, but do what you have vowed to the Lord to do. But now I tell you, do not use any vow when you make a promise. Okay? All those people who are in those Greek organizations, this is for you. Do not swear by heaven. That's for everybody. Because it is the Most High's throne, nor by earth. Because it is the resting place for his feet, nor by Jerusalem. Because it is the city of the great king. Do not even swear by your head, because you cannot make a single hair white or black. Just say yes or no. Anything else you say comes from the evil one. Okay. Teaching about revenge. You've heard that it was said, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. But now I tell you, do not take revenge on someone who wrongs you. If someone slaps you on the right cheek, let him slap your left cheek too. And if someone takes you to court to sue you for your shirt, let him have your coat as well. And if one of the occupation troops forces you to carry his pack 1 mile, carry it too. When someone asks you for something, give it to him. When someone wants to borrow something, lend it to him. Interesting. Love for enemies. You have heard it was said, love your enemies, love your friends, hate your enemies. But now I tell you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. This is what I have to tell my granddaughter about one of her teachers. That she, you know, a lot of teachers are prejudiced and kids are picking up on it. I told her, pray for that teacher. Pray hard for her. And she has been. So that you may become the sons of your Father in heaven. For he makes his sun to shine on bad and good people alike, and gives rain to those who do good and those who do evil. Why should God reward you if you love only the people who love you? Even the tax collectors do that. And if you speak only to your friends, have you done anything out of the ordinary? Nope. Even the pagans do that. You must be perfect, just as your Father in heaven is perfect. Chapter 6, teaching about charity. Make certain you do not perform your religious duties in public so that people can see what you do. If you do these things publicly, you will not have the reward from your Father in heaven. So when you give something to a needy person, do not make a big show of it, as the hypocrites do in the houses of worship and on the streets. They do it so that people will praise them. I assure you, they have already been paid in full. But when you help a needy person, do it in such a way that even your closest friends will not know about it. Then it will be your private matter, and your Father will see what you do in private and will reward you. Teaching about prayer. When you pray, do not be like the hypocrites. They love to stand up and pray in the houses of worship and on the street corners so that everyone will see them. I assure you, they have already been paid in full. That's kind of for those Israelite preachers on the street. Just think about that. But it just told you right there. They're more teaching, though, than praying and trying to be heard. I've been in those churches where people are praying and they pray long. Oh, gosh. They pray long and it goes on and they want you to know. And you're sitting there like, shut up. At least I was. But when you pray, go to your room, close the door, and pray to your Father who is unseen. And your Father who sees you in private will reward you. When you pray, do not use a lot of meaningless words, as the pagans do, who think that God will hear them because their prayers are long. Do not be like them. Your Father already knows what you need before you even ask him. This, then, is how you should pray. Our Father in heaven, may your holy name be honored. May your kingdom come. May your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us today our food we need. Forgive us the wrongs we have done, and forgive the wrongs that others have done to us. Do not bring us to harm testing, but keep us safe from the evil one. If you forgive others the wrongs they have done to you, your Father in heaven will forgive you. Important. I need to read that again. If you forgive others the wrongs they have done to you, your Father in heaven will forgive you. But if you do not forgive others, then your Father will not forgive you the wrongs that you have done. Teaching about fasting. And when you fast, do not put on a sad face as the hypocrites do. They neglect their appearance so that everyone will see that they are fasting. I assure you, they have already been paid in full. When you go without food, wash your face, comb your hair, so that others cannot know that you are fasting. Only your Father who is unseen will know. He keeps saying that only your Father who is unseen will know, and your Father who sees you, what you do in private, will reward you. Riches in heaven. Do not store up riches for yourselves here on earth, where moths and rust destroy and robbers break in and steal. Instead, store up riches for yourselves in heaven, where moths and rust cannot destroy and robbers cannot break in and steal. For your heart will always be where your riches are. That's true. That is true. And I am certainly a changed person from reading the Word. Certainly. The light of the body. The eyes are like a lamp for the body. If your eyes are sound, your whole body will be full of light. But if your eyes are no good, your body will be darkness. So if the light in you is darkness, how terribly dark it will be. Interesting. God and possessions. No one can be a slave to two masters. He will hate one and love the other. He will be loyal to one and despise the other. You cannot serve both God and money. You cannot. This is why I tell you, do not be worried about the food and drink you need in order to stay alive or about clothes for your body. After all, isn't life worth more than food? And isn't the body worth more than clothes? Look at the birds. They do not plant seeds, gather a harvest, and put it in barns, yet your Father in heaven takes care of them. Aren't you worth more than the birds? Aren't you worth more than birds? Can any of you live a bit longer by worrying about it? No. And why worry about clothes? Look at how the wild flowers grow. They do not work or make clothes for themselves. But I tell you that not even King Solomon, with all of his wealth, had clothes as beautiful as one of those flowers. It is God who clothes the wild grass, grass that is here today and gone tomorrow, burned up in the oven. Won't he be all the more sure to clothe you? What little faith you have. So do not start worrying. Where will my food come from? Or my drink? Or my clothes? These are the things that pagans are always concerned about. Your Father in heaven knows that you have need of all these things. Instead, be concerned about everything else with the kingdom of God. Instead, be concerned above everything else with the kingdom of God and with what he requires of you. So above everything else, be concerned about the kingdom of God and what he requires of you, and he will provide you with all the other things. So do not worry about tomorrow. It will be enough worries of its own. So do not worry about tomorrow. It will have enough worries of its own. There is no need to add to the troubles each day brings. Love this. I love this. Chapter 7. And then we're going to stop. We're going to stop at chapter 7. And that ends the Sermon on the Mount, I think. So judging others. Do not judge others, so that God will not judge you. For God will judge you the same way you judge others, and he will apply to you the same rules you apply to others. Why then do you look at the speck in your brother's eye and pay no attention to the log in your own eye? How dare you say to your brother, please let me take that speck out of your eye, when you have a log in your own eye, you hypocrite. First, take the log out of your own eye, and then you will be able to see clearly to take the speck out of your brother's eye. Do not give what is holy to dogs. They will only turn and attack you. Do not throw your pearls in front of pigs. They will only trample them underfoot. Ask, seek, knock. Ask, and you will receive. Seek, and you will find. Knock, and the door will open. Ask for what you want. Seek it, and you'll find it. Knock, and the door will open. For everyone who asks will receive. Everyone who seeks will find. And the door will open for him who knocks. Would any of you who are fathers give your son a stone when he asks for bread? Or would you give him a snake when he asks for fish? As bad as you are, you know how to give good things to your children. How much more then will your Father in heaven give good things to those who ask him? Do for others what you want them to do for you. Critical. This is the meaning of the law of Moses and the teaching of the prophets. The narrow gate. Go in through the narrow gate, because the gate to hell is wide and the roads that lead to it is easy, and there are many who travel it. But the gate to life is narrow, and the way that leads to it is hard, and there are few who find it. Right. So it's like, this is not an easy road, but it's worth it. The tree and its fruit. Be on guard. Be on your guard against false prophets. They come to you looking like sheep on the outside, but on the inside they are really wild wolves. You will know them by what they do. Thorn bushes do not bear grapes, and briars do not bear figs. A healthy tree bears good fruit, but a poor tree bears bad fruit. A healthy tree cannot bear bad fruit, and a poor tree cannot bear good fruit. And any tree that does not bear good fruit is cut down and thrown in the fire. So then you will know the false prophets by what they do. I never knew you. Not everyone who calls me, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of heaven, but only those who do what my Father in heaven wants them to do. When the judgment day comes, many will say to me, Lord, Lord, in your name, we spoke God's message. We spoke the Most High's message. By your name, we drove out many demons and performed many miracles. And I will say to them, I never knew you. Get away from me, you wicked people. The two house builders. So then, anyone who hears these words of mine, obeys them, is like a wise man who built his house on rock. The rains poured down, the rivers flooded over, and the wind blew hard against that house. But it did not fall because it was built on rock. But anyone who hears these words of mine and does not obey them is like a foolish man who built his house on sand. The rain poured down, the rivers flooded over, the wind blew hard against that house, and it fell. And what a terrible fall that was. The authority of Jesus, or the Son of God, or Yah's Son. When Yah's Son finished saying these things, the crowd was amazed at the way he taught. He wasn't like the teachers of the law. Instead, he taught with authority. Like he's saying, this is how it is. This is what it is. This is what you do. This is what you don't do. Are the worth more than birds? I think I'm going to color this one out. Do not make a big show of it. Like, oh, look at me giving to the poor. The poor people. I am helping them out. I am so important. Oh, God. Don't you know people like this? I do. I know people like this. I have watched people like this. I do not like people like this. Oh, God. They are dressed really nice. They're very, very proper. They are dressed to the nine. They are like, look at me, look at me. I'm important, and the people I know are important. You are a peasant, but I will help a peasant out because it makes me look good. It makes me look really good. Look at me. I'm giving to the poor. Ugh, disgust me. Truly do disgust me. They've always disgusted me. Always. And look at the poor here. Oh, please help me. I'm so poor. Thank you for your kindness, dear sir. It's all in public and people can see it. And I'm even talking to the people who give to like charities. That too. I don't know. I hate fake people. I've never liked fake people. Never. Ever, ever. I don't do well with faking around them either. Not at all. So there were a lot of lessons here. So, you know. And we read those 6 chapters in less than 25 minutes. Meaning, as I'm always saying, what are you doing with your time? Please do not tell me you are just going to a church building and letting a preacher preach. He may be preaching the Beatitudes, for all I know. But you can read it your daggone self. Right? I just read it. You can read it your daggone self. Why are you having somebody else read it to you, right? I don't know. I'm not buying that that's the way to go anymore. I used to do it. I used to think that was the way to go. But just knowing that, the Lord's Day Sunday replaced the Sabbath is enough for me. Ugh. Okay. So we have read about, let's call that in. I don't know why I'm doing that. We have read about the Sermon on the Mount. And he's in Galilee, and this is part of his ministry. The Sermon on the Mount is one sermon. He's on the top of a mountain teaching these things. And these are things that these people have never heard before. These are things that still resonate with us today. And we did that in less than 25 minutes, right? So, with that, until next time, it's Ridea keeping it real.